did do a reasonable job. He managed to pull his SCVs and not lose all of them, although he did take quite a lot of economic damage. He took quite a lot of mining time damage, but he did manage to hold it off, which is pretty good. And now he has got this reasonable force out, and he's just going to try and push in, and just going to have to push against all these forces. And it looks like these stalkers aren't going to be able to micro back very well, and he's just using those marauders to kind of slow down the stalkers when they try and run away. And he's doing a pretty decent job of target firing down all these stalkers. Although they are taking out all the marines with these marauders, they really almost do damage to the stalkers to stop them getting away completely. And oh, kind of a mistake there to warp in some more units, because there really wasn't enough time for them to reinforce. And it looks like he's just going to run them away, and I'm surprised Gon's not deciding to take down this pylon, although he's probably a bit worried that these zealots might walk in, but he should be able to kite them with the marauders. And yep, he is going in now to take down that pylon, which is warping in even more units, but they're all zealots, so they're going to die really easily to these marauders when they stim and kite, if he uses them properly. But no, nice force field, he's going to be able to take down a couple of zealots, use these zealots to take down a couple of marauders. So, kind of a decent job there by JangMinChul, but possibly committed a bit too much. He could have run away and saved that last zealot, but it's not going to be too much of a huge difference. And if these marauders decide to stim, they might be able to catch up before they can manage to get back into the safety of the base, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that. And they are up there, and there isn't enough energy on these sentries at the moment to get a force field down on that ramp, so he is a bit kind of susceptible to any attack of the rear, but he has got some more sentries warped again, so they should be able to put down possibly a force field. Yep, so put down another force field. He shots all these marauders, and they all nice. Because there's no stalkers in this army, he's just able to kind of use his medevacs to pick up the units and run them away quickly. And both players now getting expansions pretty much at exactly the same time, so they're both doing pretty well. And if we check the production tab, we've got some more marines, some more marauders. It looks like he's going to go up and try and attack that Stargate, but he's not able to do too much damage. This Stargate's acting like a pretty good choke blocker at the moment, so he's not able to get all these units to come in very quickly. But he is able to take it down and just sit at the bottom of the ramp, and these units can't really touch him at all. So, kind of poor positioning in some ways by JangMinChul. I mean, the Stargate is close to the base, but it was susceptible to the attack from down at the bottom of that ramp. But it looks like he's stimming that. Wow! If he takes down this pylon, no, he's not able to take down the pylon and stop this from walking. And he's getting pretty caught now. His forces have kind of been split into. These two sentries are going to go down pretty quickly to this reinforcing force. And if he's able to use this medevac to kind of get out some of his units right now, pick them up like he did before, they might not lose all of them, but no, it looks like he's managing to do a lot of damage to take down all these other units, because their attention's been split by these reinforcing units coming from the back. So he's done a lot of damage here for all of JangMinChul's forces, which haven't really been particularly well microed. And ouch, he loses the medevac. That was a really bad time to pick it up. Said he could have picked him up before, but instead he decides to wait a bit until there's almost no health on that medevac and there's enough stalkers underneath to take it down when he does pick it up, and he loses 3 marauders completely unnecessarily, because if he just left them on the ground, they'd have been able to do a lot more than if picking them up did. So we've got a little force kind of gathering here, more reinforcements from Gon, but he's not going to look to press in, so both players just kind of regrouping, gathering up some forces, and still just on the 4 warp gates. So we'll have to see if JangMinChul decides to get a robotics facility at some point soon, because he knows obviously that it's quite a heavy bioforce, although it is a bit of an investment, because he needs to kind of save up as much money as he can, just get some more units just so he can protect against any future attacks that are coming from Gon. And it looks like we've got another one coming now, so we'll have to see how well this one fares against JangMinChul's forces, which are slightly out of position but not too bad. And it looks like he's just going to run up, stim, and nope, doesn't look like he's going to commit this time. So it's a very zealot heavy force here from JangMinChul, and really that's not particularly effective against these marine marauders, because they need to get in close up to see, although if he force fields like that, then they are going to be effective. But nice! So we see Gon using some nice little Q dropship play just to escape from those force fields, and making sure he keeps all his troops alive. And you can see with the concussive shell on the marauders, they're just slowing the zealots, and the zealots can't escape and they can't close in quickly enough. And when he's using those those medevacs to kind of play cute with all his trapped forces against the force fields, then he's doing really well to keep all his troops alive, and all those force fields just blocking them off. So JangMinChul can kind of regroup a bit, hopefully get some more forces in against these marines and marauders. And he nearly took down that medevac again, so we're going to have to see. I mean, oGsGon could kind of pull maybe some SCVs along with this force just to make sure that the medevacs stay alive, because he's losing quite a lot of medevacs. But no, it looks like he's going to send his SCVs out to that expansion. We've got the expansion up and running here from JangMinChul, and it looks like he's going to push in again. I'll just check the income tab. It's 42 against 34 harvests with JangMinChul in the lead, but it looks like he's going to go in for another attack. And nice blocking on that ramp again with those force fields, kind of splitting the force basically in half, so he's able to deal with the force at the top and keep the force at the bottom away. He's able to get his zealots in pretty close and deal a lot of damage to all these marauders. Because when the zealots getting closer, really pretty effective against the marauders. And the medevac goes down, only 1 medevac left, and most of these forces have been destroyed. So it looks like JangMinChul is going to come out ahead in this battle. Kind of slightly bad from Gon there, but he couldn't do much once he started to commit, and then that force field went up on the ramp. So he kind of had to stay there, because otherwise he would have just lost half his army without doing absolutely anything. So it looks like now we're going to have another force, and we got some nice macro from Gon. He's able to reinforce just up to this point again all the time, and basically stop JangMinChul from putting any pressure on his base, and just kind of keep going, pushing forwards to the ramp. And because we haven't got a forward pylon from JangMinChul, he's having to warp in units in his base, and then he can't bring them up to defend and help reinforce his own forces when he's supposed to push out. So next time he pushes out, really he could do with having a probe with his force, so he can just kind of take a position down here and get a pylon up. And again, nice force field, but again we see the medevac picking up those troops and dropping it, but again he's got really low health, so he's kind of taking a bit of a risk with these medevacs all the time. So he's got one high health medevac and one really low HP medevac, so if he decides to do that again too much, then he might lose this medevac. And if we see the Stalkers focusing on the medevac, no, they're going to take their own one hit, but instead he's focusing on the troops, and he's managing to basically deal a lot of damage to these troops. We've got again even more from even more from Gon reinforcing, and more force fields. So basically we're just going to see the same little pattern over and over again, but nice play from both of these players, nice force fielding, nice macro coming up Gon. And it's just those medevacs which are kind of, he's not able to get enough and he keeps losing them. So if he had more medevacs, so he has got 3 medevacs, but you can see 2 of them are really heavily damaged. You've got 5 HP on one, 19 HP on the other, and the third with 150. So if he repairs those medevacs, he can keep them in battle longer and build up his medevac force. And the moment he's got a Ghost Academy, so I kind of slightly missed that. I haven't seen any ghosts so far, so I'd assume if we check the production tab, sorry, that one, we haven't got any ghosts producing at the moment, which is kind of interesting. And we haven't got any ghosts in the army, but he will be producing them soon. And when he gets those ghosts out, he'll be able to just EMP these units and take off most of their shields, stop those sentries, more importantly being able to force field the ramp yet again, and he might be able to kind of get his forces up kind of in one piece and do a bit more damage. And we've got SCVs kind of here and there for Gon, just kind of spotting around the map, although he's not actually spotting the kind of JangMinChul's area. But we've got 6 gates now up from JangMinChul thanks to that extra expansion, and we've got another expansion in fact going down here from Gon, so he's getting his 3rd base up, and he is going for that far expansion rather than going for the kind of closer one. And look, yeah, we see JangMinChul now trying to put down another pylon up in his forward position so he can warp in units to reinforce. And we'll have to see if he decides to go for his 3rd base at any point and soon. And we got 52 SCVs from Gon against 47 probes from JangMinChul. So Gon's pretty much in the lead, especially with that 3rd base going up on those mules. So he's got more probes, more income, more bases. So he's doing a lot better on the economy. So JangMinChul's really going to either need to start expanding, or he's going to need to put on more pressure and do some economic damage. But now we've got 4 medevacs, and yes, he has decided to repair those, and the pylon goes down straight away. We've got a couple of guardian shields, but I think it's too heavy on these sentries in fact. He's got so many sentries and they're not really heavy damage dealers, but he is getting some. Oh well, so we do have a ghost up, and yep, I think he's too sentry heavy, and those sentries just aren't doing enough damage, so he's going to lose this battle, and I think he's going to lose the game because he's already behind in the economy, and he's just lost all his forces. And with all these medevacs, it looks like Gon's just going to be able to run into his base. No, he doesn't even have time to do that. JangMinChul GG's, went behind in the economy, wasn't able to put enough pressure on, and Gon just kept macroing up, kept the pressure on, and didn't let JangMinChul put too much pressure on, and used that back kind of passage all through the game to just keep going at JangMinChul, costing him all these units, and basically managed to beat him just through kind of sheer forces just going over and over again. So that was a pretty enjoyable game. Both players played well, lots of nice force field use from JangMinChul, and